So welcome back here to the Oman Cricket Academy. We told you it was a pretty tight turnaround. That break can range from 20 minutes all the way down to 10, depending upon how quickly the side in the first innings bowl their overs. So with Nepal running a bit over time, bowled a few more seamers than we usually see. Lots of spin options there are often for Nepal. It means that we've had only the 10-minute turnaround and we're back in action here. So good evening to all of you back there in Nepal. Good evening to everyone in Japan, of course, as well, watching on. There'll probably be a few split allegiances in Japan, as I know there's plenty of Nepalese students who live over there. And good evening to everyone in Australia. Good morning to those in Europe and the Americas watching on live on this ICC TV broadcast. You've got Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani for company. Great to be with you live from the beautiful Sultanate of Oman. It's a very warm day, but it's a beautiful day, as it always is here in Al Emirates. And Nepal have pulled off probably the fight back of the tournament thus far in that first innings. Again, if you're only tuning in now, you're saying, oh, well, they've only got 130. It was always going to be Nepal favourites at the halfway stage, but that was not really the case, with a brilliant second wicket partnership between the captain, Kendall Kadawaki-Fleming, and indeed highly impressive Isam Rahman, who started his international career well. Japan were well set at 97 for 1, but they've only ended up with 131 after a Gulshan Jah-inspired fight back. And it could be half a chance from the very first ball, as we see instead a misfield that is going to race to the rope. It could have been a wicket easily, and a bit of fortune, because that was off a leading edge more so than anything. As we see Rio Sakurano Thomas open the bowling, it was Bertel trying to work it probably into the leg side, leading edge, beats the cover fielder, beats mid off and gets to the rope, as I wish a good evening or a good afternoon to Paresh Lahani.
Good afternoon, Lenny, and good afternoon and good evening to all the viewers. That's a good shout, but the umpires moved away. Yeah, Kushal Bhurtel's heart must have been in his mouth after he played that first shot. It was in the air. I think that hit the bat rather than the pad.
Yeah, three medium pacers, Sakurana Thomas and Isam Rahman able to get it through a little bit quicker than the others. And then three spin options. They're the primary six bowlers for Japan. One left arm spinner and then two right arm off spinners. Don't think we'll see them go as deep into their depth chart, if you will, to a seventh or eighth bowler. So primarily we'll see those six. As this is chipped down the ground very elegantly. It's only a punch really from Bertel, but he looks like he's returning to some of his very best form. Remember his flying start to international cricket, 450s in his first 5 innings. He hits a second boundary and it's very, very elegant. Paresh, what a shot that is.
That was just a check drive by Bhurtel, stayed down the ground, over the infield, over long on rather. Kushal Bhurtel has runs under his belt. At the first game he played against Kuwait, he scored 60 odd runs. Now already 2 boundaries in this over, the first over of the innings.
Yeah, 66 he made out off the penultimate delivery of the innings, nearly carried his bat. He called it in the post-match presentation the best innings of his career. That's how important that was against Kuwait. Got Nepal off to a winning start. Both of these sides, a reminder, have qualified through to the Super 6, and now it's really just a case of who's going to take the first points in the Super 6. Between them is again an aggressive stroke attempted. The importance of Bertel at the top of the order, given that he had a really tricky patch, didn't he, in 2024, parts of 2023, dropped down the order to 6 and 7. But Stuart Law's backing his man at the top in a big way.
He is a natural strike maker. That is why he opens the batting. He uses the power play.
Goes again and takes that aerial route. It's going to fly just out of the reach of the mid-off fielder. A valiant, incredible effort actually. Great credit to Shoma Sagata Slater, who does so well to hang right on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Made 15, 20 yards back, and for all of the brilliance in Nepal's fielding, that would have been probably the catch of the tournament.
Kushal Bhurtel once again stepping down the track, almost getting to it. That's a very good effort by down on the leg side, flicked away. Just a single though. A very good over comes to an end. Nepal 11 for no loss.
If you're wondering just how much Kushal Bertel struggled last year in the season of 2024, 13 innings, high score of just 32, and an average of 11, a strike rate of 100. He's turned that around now in 2025. He's up averaging over 33, strike rate up at 130, and back towards the numbers you would expect, including 450s altogether. So, yeah, really good and important turnaround for Bertel, who had that flying start. Often happens, doesn't it, in international cricket, as you come up the grades, players who start brightly will end up getting a bit found out. They might have a technical flaw or something that the other team's analysts will pick up upon, and then they will target that. Here's the youngster, Harahinze, with his left arm spin, immediately given the task of opening the bowling. After 11 come from the first, Bertel gets a single to get Asif Sheikh onto strike for the first time.
You're talking about Kushal Burtel's form. Yeah, it happens to a player when you go through a black patch, a dark patch. He worked very hard on it. He'd been batting in numerous places like number 3, number 7, number 5, and now opening the batting again.
A reminder that we'll see Charlie Harahinze in that Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup that's only, 4 months away or something around that in January. They became the 14th nation to qualify with a big victory back in April over Fiji, and Harahinze was very much to the fore. Bertel won't take on the single. He's actually named the player of the tournament in that East Asia Pacific regional qualifier with 92 runs and 12 wickets. Lots of talented youngsters. Cricket Japan doing a lot of good things. This is cut away, finds the gap and finds the boundary. It felt like an even smaller gap because two fielders there at point, and indeed the umpire in the pink shirt, a similar colour because of where the sun is. Great stroke for 4.
The ball came in after pitching. Burtel just gave himself room and cut that into the gap. The placement was perfect.
Chip down the ground, not out of the middle of the bat, but every run is being cheered to the rafters by the fans that are predominantly supporting Nepal. I've seen 2 in Japan pink tops with the Japan flag. Don't think there's many more.
I don't think that's pink.
You don't think they're playing in pink?
No, they are playing in pink, but the flag colour is red.
Oh, the flag colour is red, absolutely. But the 2 fans are in Japan jerseys up there, yeah, absolutely. End of the second, Nepal 18 for none. Another good over. Harahinze's goes for 7. For Nepal, all the focus on nailing 2 points here, or as the chase progresses, will they start to think about net run rate as well, bearing in mind that this result will count in the Super 6?
Well, actually, first of all, they would like to win the game and get 2 points and carry that 2 points to the Super 6s. After getting closer to the target, maybe quick fire will definitely help that net run rate.
Yeah, it could be an option. A lot of cricket to be played, of course, and Japan will need early wickets to start to drag things back. Shoma Sugata Slater, one of the other right arm seamers, is called in. Driven but too firmly to take the single as mid-off is in play. Probably got about maybe an hour of daylight left. I do think the floodlights will kick in for some aspect of this second innings, and then a reminder we do have action tonight. Should be a good clash, that one. PNG versus Oman. Papua New Guinea in must-win territory. Oman have it all to do. That's not a good delivery. The tournament's been a fascinating one already. I know we're only in the 3rd day, Paresh. First day, everything went to plan with regards to rankings. The 3, I suppose the 3 highest ranked sides, the 3 tournament favourites, Nepal, UAE and Oman, all got it done, but had a few wobbles. Yesterday was the opposite.
Exactly. The first day was dramatic, to be honest, and yesterday was swing and a miss by Burtel. It was a mixed bag on the first day, but yesterday Kuwait not getting knocked out of the tournament, a high-ranked team beaten by a lower-ranked team, Japan, and even Samoa beating PNG. So everything happening yesterday.
Use of the feet down the track. Now they're interested in an LBW appeal, but he's come so far down. I think it's very difficult to give that. Good hard length hit though by Slater. Excellent bowling.
Yes, he's trying to hit the deck. His length is perfect. He's bowling those back of the length, not bowling fuller deliveries where Purtell can go over the top with a straight bat. He's mixing his length, varying his length.
Yeah, good bowling, and I think in fairness to Japan, clearly the indications, the instructions from the coaches will have been, not just from Bedingfield, the head coach, but Harrison and Stevens, the assistants, that we need to learn from what Sampal Kami and Gulshan Jah did so well in that first innings.
Yeah, and apart from that one wide, all the balls are dot balls in this over.
It feels like a pitch that rewards good bowling, I mean good basics. Just not the right line this time, and a misfield is going to cost a boundary. I think this will race to the rope. Oh, not quite. Very nearly costs 4. Just got something on it to at least save the 4 and turn it into 2.
When you have the fine leg fielder inside the circle, that is not the line you would like to bowl. You like to bowl outside off stump, outside off stump. You have a wide third man and a short, very fine third man as well. Backward point, extra cover, and mid off on the offside.
Straight to the man at cover points. It'll be a dot ball to close out a good over. Good first over from Sagai Slater. 3 have been bowled, 21 for none. Final day of the group stages. They've been short and sweet because it's just 3 days. And for Malaysia, they're already on the way home. For Kuwait, they too will be heading back across the Gulf. Papua New Guinea will be looking to avoid that fate, and there's a few different permutations. If Oman went down to a very heavy defeat, they could still get knocked out. As Asif Sheikh goes down the ground, Long On will come around and keep it to a couple. And Samoa aren't through yet, but have put themselves into a great position. If Oman beat Papua New Guinea, we'll see Samoa in the Super 6.
Yeah, and there'll be 2 East Asia Pacific teams. They'll go through to the Super 6s.
Yeah, there is a world in which there could be all 3. Oh yes, stunning. One of the shots of the day, and it's exactly where Kendall Fleming hit his 2. That was over long on for the left-hander. This one's over long off from Asif Sheikh. Made it look easy, very elegant and pleasing on the eye as he just caresses this for 6.
Fleming hit 2 sixes against Sandeep Lamichhane this time around. It was right on the slot, and it went over the long on mid-off fielder, over the fence for a 6.
It was just glorious, wasn't it? No need for any incandescent rage or anything like that. Just a simple, elegant bat swing from a very talented cricketer. Paresh, did this remind you of you in your prime?
Yeah, I used to play straight, but not over the top, all along the ground.
Your one would have been along the ground, not in the air. Oh, it's a beautiful shot, isn't it? I think in fairness, Kendall Fleming's was bigger off Lamichhane, particularly the first one. But that one was, because it's over long off, and just the extension of the arms with the bat swing was even more pleasing on the eye. And Hara Hinze, who's such a prodigious and a prolific young talent, is just being targeted a little bit here in the power play. It's a tall task for a 17-year-old to bowl to these 2. 24-yard delivery comes out, so Sheikh goes deep in the crease. bumped into the Sheikh brothers last night. I was out in Muttra, which is a beautiful little sort of fishing port and bay there. And yeah, the Sheikh brothers, alongside Mohammed Adil Alam, were just out and enjoying a bit of tea. Nice to see them. They were very, very happy actually with the Japan result. They thought they deserved it. They said they'd watched the game. Big appeal. And Hara Hinze was interested. What's this one missing, Paresh?
Yeah, looked very close in the first instant, but you have to see the replay. Probably slightly going down.
Did he get it to turn enough is the question. Or was it just angling on with the arms? Certainly an appeal of note, an appeal of interest. As again he uses his feet. Going to create half a chance. Oh, spectacular effort. But it's another one that, well, it's hard to call it a chance or harsh to call it a chance. And the flying long off fielder or mid off fielder who's run around, I don't think gets anything on it in the end. And Bertel lives to fight another day.
Coming down the track, not into the pitch of the ball, hit it.
Back live with you now. We'll come back to that replay as Bertel can't beat the infield. As it will round out the latest over. It was awfully difficult chance, Paresh, wasn't it? Again, made good ground. Don't think he got a hand on it in the end. Might have been Rahman out there, I think, at mid-off. Good effort, but I suppose for Japan to defend this low total, they're going to have to take those sort of quarter chances.
Yeah, he was flying like a Superman there, but couldn't get to the ball.
Bit of Jonty Rhodes, mid-air. Would have been a sensational catch. Very, very difficult. Bertel was probably looking to go inside out over extra cover, but good piece of bowling from Hara Hinze, just dragged his length back a touch. Sagaya Slater will continue for his second. Nepal are in a good position in this power play. I'll be pleased with the start that the two openers have given them. Another elegant stroke. He really is probably, of all of Nepal's batters, the most technically correct Asif Sheikh. Is that a fair analogy from someone who batted at the top like you, Paresh?
Yes, he is. He is one of the most elegant, stylish, classical players who can score runs in a T20 international above the striker of 130.
He's actually someone, I know Nepal don't play a huge amount of multi-day cricket. They did inaugurate the J Trophy there last year, I think it was. Or it might have been this year, my years are drifting into each other, to play some 2-day and then a 3-day final in that competition domestically. But he's someone you would love to see get an opportunity one day at Test cricket, Asif Sheikh. He seems to have all the assets from a technical perspective.
Yes, he has that aspect. Everything, the way he comes on to the front foot, the way he goes back to the back foot.
That's the one shot that gets him in a bit of trouble, just as we're waxing lyrical about how elegant he is. He probably doesn't need to play that. If he plays a back foot punch there, he would have executed it. Big swing and a miss.
This kind of a shot that he played against Kuwait brought the downfall. Was trapped LBW, trying to play across the line. He doesn't have to do that. Just back your basics. Just do your basics right. Clipped off his hips just for a single.
Yeah, it's funny, for most associate sides, particularly the 8 premier associate sides that are in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2, they're basically splitting their focus pretty much 50-50, aren't they, on ODI cricket and T20I cricket. And as a consequence, you don't really want to be out of one of the formats. Short and wide, misses out, bit of bounce from Sagaya Slater. So this, if Nepal played all 3 formats, if there's a day, one day where they play Test cricket, this might be the weakest of Asif Sheikh's 3 formats, but he's still very effective in T20 cricket, particularly when he has Bertel kind of going a bit more hammer and tongs at it alongside him.
That is what they complement each other for. Bertel comes in attacks the ball. He has that aggression in the T20 format.
Oh, this goes straight up. It should be the first wicket. Fine leg comes around and holds on, and Japan celebrate. Sagaya Slater's really deserved that. And look at this, all 11 Japanese fielders coming in, sprinting in together. They're pumped up, loving every second. The men in pink do have one of Nepal's first two openers as Bertel looked for the hook shot. I think got surprised by that bit of extra bounce, and a half a yard of pace on offer two from Slater. And the opening stand is broken.
Yeah, it was a short ball, tried to pull the ball, hurried onto him, got the top edge, and a very smart, neat catch by the fielder at short fine, tumbling to his back. That was the captain, Kendall Fleming.
Will have been nervous underneath it, knew the importance of it. Two very, very difficult chances, both off Bertel going down. So he'll have to walk back for 21, made it exactly a run a ball. It will bring the captain to the crease row at Powdell. Good time to take a wicket just before that crucial sixth over that batting sides so often attack. And you can't help but argue Japan have deserved that.
Yes, they have, because of good bowling. Even you can see the last over that Slater bowled. He was bowled 2 overs just for 6 runs and taken a wicket. The last over, just 3 runs and a wicket.
If you're wondering why Sagaya Slater likes that length, he plays his club cricket in Western Australia, in Perth, at the Melville Cricket Club. He's another one, I think there's 5 or 6 playing first grade cricket in Australia from this Japanese side. Anyone in first grade, when I went down and played my career there in Melbourne, I was generally in the seconds and the thirds. The standard and depth of Australian club cricket is phenomenal, particularly in the grade structures in Melbourne and in Sydney and in Perth and in Brisbane. Adelaide too. But you're playing first grade cricket, you're at a good standard. So he's come in and hit that hard length, those bouncy pitches out in Western Australia, and he's got the good reward. As we'll see a change in bowling. The third of the 3 seamers comes into the attack. There's a big swing and a miss from Asif Sheikh, just losing his shape. Out and out all-rounder, isn't he, Rahman? And another one who's playing his club cricket down in Australia.
This was a very good length bowled by Rahman. The ball shaping away from Asif Sheikh. He tried to hit that over the bowler's head, but was completely beaten by the swing of the ball. Now if Japan can get a couple of wickets, quick wickets, Nepal will come under pressure.
Worked around the corner, get home comfortably for the single, Powdell very quick. Yeah, he was playing for the ACT Comets side. I think they're known as the Comets still, or it certainly used to be the Australian Capital Territory side in that North End T20 that not just Nepal went down to play in, but also Pakistan A, the Shaheens, Bangladesh A. Saw a side from America playing in that too. A really good competition. And then Melbourne Renegades Academy. There's an Adelaide Strikers side there. Northern Territory Strike 2. And he was generally in the wickets and in the runs in that. I think that's something Nepal will be invited back to. And even though they lost some games down there, it showed that, I suppose, good exposure to different conditions will be good for the team going forward.
Yeah, that was a very good experience for Nepal to go there for the top end T20 tournament, playing against Australian team, playing against the Shaheens, playing against Bangladesh as well, the A teams. A good exposure for the kid, for the boys.
Very good standard of cricket from what I saw as well. Played across a multiple number of venues up in the top end. As Powdell will get off the strike. That wicket will probably quell any immediate hunts for net run rate boosts, as Nepal will just get the focus on to winning this game now again.
That should be their motto, just to win the game first. That comes in the primary objective. The secondary objective must have been the net run rate. But if you don't go for the win, if you don't win, the net run rate will not count.
Yeah, you're spot on. Net run rate's almost kind of a bonus after. Sheikh goes down the ground, heaves it into the leg side, goes a long, long way, goes all the way. 2 fielders were interested in it for its entire airspan out towards the leg side boundary. How's he got this for 6?
We were talking about the elegance of Asif Sheikh. He comes down the track. It was a slow ball, an off cutter. He just goes with the shot, pulls it down to mid wicket for a 6.
Yeah, he almost had to check his stroke because he was probably done a little bit by a clever piece of bowling. Rahman saw Sheikh coming, changed his pace, but well, it's the modern game. You almost get the mini win as the bowler. You still go for 6. And Sheikh looks to finish the power play strongly, but can't get it where he wants it, which was over extra cover. Nepal will still be the happier of the two sides at the end of the power play in the second innings. They've accumulated 45 for 1.
Yes, let's look at the power play highlights. Kushal Bhurtel started off very wary. A couple of good shots down the ground. That was a better of the 3 that he played, going back to the back foot and cutting that down to point. This was the wicket of Kushal Bhurtel. The ball hurried onto him, got a top edge, and neat catch by the captain Fleming. This one's an amazing shot by Asif Sheikh coming down the track, helping it over mid wicket for a 6. After the power play, Nepal 45 for 1.
See Ravichandran come into the attack straight out of the power play. Kendall Fleming will have his... Oh, it's a drag down, a rare freebie. Bowling's been good, but that's not the way you want to start a spell. It could have been hit anywhere, and Sheikh just picks his spot out towards the gorgeous mountains, and it goes a long, long way. Real drag down and just smashed for 6.
Yeah, that was a long hop by Ravichandran. Helped it away by Asif Sheikh for a massive 6.
It has just been a few signs. A couple of batters in the first innings really started with nerves, and now the first bowler in the second innings starting with it was just a poor delivery, wasn't it? Any batter would be licking his lips at that. About 65, 68 metres that square boundary out in that direction, and well, he's cleared it by 15 metres, and they're off looking for the ball right now. A whole load of people out towards that side trying to find the Kookaburra. I think they're going to have to go oh, they have found it. It's got into Shiju Sam, but because there's a little bit of a construction area over that far side still, just inspecting the ball to see if it's fit to continue play. And pressure in a big way now back on to Ravichandran and Japan after just one ball. The 50's up.
Yes, with that 6, Nepal moves to 51. The current rate is 8.27, the required rate under 6 now.
Oh, it's another long hop, and it's going to be 6 more. 2 really poor deliveries. Credit to Asif Sheikh, yes, but you just cannot bowl there. And I don't think you can park your car there either. You'll get in trouble. Very nearly smashes into that one. Nepal's fans loving every second.
This was another long hop, equally well dealt by Asif Sheikh. This was much bigger than the last one. Almost hitting the car there. Back-to-back 6s for Asif Sheikh.
He might be lucky that Sheikh didn't hit it another 2 or 3 metres. I think that was smashing into the car then. He does have 48 wickets to his name with a little bit of all sorts. You'll see him bowl some leg breaks, some off breaks, but 2 really poor deliveries to start with. And Sheikh just said, well, thank you for the presents. Happy to heave them away. And again, the ball needs further inspection because it clattered off the surroundings. Better, much better from Ravichandran. Finally finds his length. Problem is, only 130 on the board. You can't even afford a couple of bad balls.
And that was a bit slower through the air as well. Another good delivery by him. 2 long hops and then 2 dot balls. I think he's getting the groove of the wicket now, getting the ball to release it well.
Yeah, they are leg breaks, but they're kind of straight breaks, and that one's cut away for 4 more. Flat through the air. Asif Sheikh really taking a liking to Ravichandran, who's being dispatched around Al Emirat.
This was not a bad ball. The shot was extremely good. He gave himself room and played it into the bat almost from the keeper's gloves. A very good shot. Played it very late to get the gap between short third and backward point.
And Sheikh is just happy to keep the strike. He's completely unflusteredly accumulated 17 runs from that over with the utmost of ease. 7 have been bowled. Nepal in cruise control, approaching the halfway marker of this chase. They're 62 for 1. There's a run worm, and you can just see the difference between the two sides. Paresh, it's despite Japan's really impressive position and the acceleration that they provided through this stage, Nepal are cruising by them right now. Required run rate less than a run a ball, and difficult position. And you just wonder for Kendall Kadawaki Fleming as to when his sights might just turn to a bit of damage limitation. Does the dream of pulling off that shock upset, which would be 2 massive upsets in 2 days for Japan's cricketers, does that kind of go into the rearview mirror, and does he start to think, hold on, how can I bowl as economically as possible to drag out this second innings to make sure we don't take such a thumping that if we get 3 wins, our net run rate's going to be in a terrible position. Sagaya Slater's brought back in. Well, that's not going to help. Big leg side wide. Change of ends for him, strangely. He bowled so well from the media centre end. Have had a couple of messages asking to explain the format again, Paresh. I think if you forget about the group stages, because by the end of tonight we'll know the 6 teams in the Super 6, and what we can then do is publish a points table with each side having played 1 match, and that's the result that you will hold on to with the side that you qualified with. So the winner of this match will have 2 points at the end of tonight. UAE already have 2 points from Group A, and then it could be Oman, it could be Samoa, or it could be Papua New Guinea, depending upon the permutations in Group C. And then from there, all that happens is you play all the other 4 sides you haven't played yet, and it's the top 3 that go to the World Cup. There's no semi-final, there's no final. It's that simple.
Yes, it is. From Group A, UAE already taken 2 points to the Super Sixes. Whoever wins today will take 2 points to the Super Sixes. That was hit over his head. A good catch at third man. Asif Sheikh, after playing those good innings, has come to an end. 38 that he scored off 20 balls. He tried an uppercut, but couldn't get so.
And what a great change of bowling. Great credit to Kendall Kadawaki Fleming. He's gone to his gun fast bowler. Kept pounding back of a length, now even shorter. And Sheikh couldn't resist taking it on. And with deep third out, it was a very risky stroke. This is a good catch. Down at wide, deep third. And a bit of a celebration too. Love to see that. Give some back to the Nepal fans. Maybe he was getting a bit down there, Ibrahim Takahashi. And he says, yes, that's number 2. And the Nepal fans are going to rue that. Sheikh is gone for 38. Might not be enough to turn this game on its head, but will certainly stem the run scoring flow. And Japan deserve a second wicket. Both of them have gone to Sagaya Slater, who's been really impressive.
Yes, 2.2 overs, 2 for 7 his figures. This is a good bowling change by the captain of Japan, bringing him from the far end. It was a short ball wide outside the off stump. Asif Sheikh tried to play an uppercut when the fielder was outside the circle in the deep third man region. It was a smart catch taken by Ibrahim. Second wicket down for Nepal. It's going to be Sundeep Zora at number 4.
Interesting call this. He's had a lot of flexibility in his order, or in his place in the order. Kushal Mala's often in at 4, but with the seamers on, maybe it's a good call to go to Jura, who drives just shy of backward point. Sagaya Slater's being the pick of the bowlers by quite a distance here.
Sundeep Zora has been sent, I think, because of he plays fast bowling very well. Just to keep Kushal Mall behind when probably the leg spinner or the left arm spinner comes.
Get off the mark with a quickly run single that might have been interesting with a direct hit, and Powdell is that quick that they'll get back for an overthrow. Good awareness from Nepal's captain calling Jura through. Can't blame the fielder here, he had to throw it, and might have been interesting if he had been able to affect that direct hit at the non-striker's end.
Quick run attempted there, the fielder missing the ball. Zora just stuttered there in the middle. That is why he had to sprint to the other end.
Would have been close, I reckon. May well have been out, in fact. Another short ball, that will probably be too short and given as a wide, rightly so. Umpires working well together as a pair. Shiju Sam and the main man Mukul from Bangladesh. He's actually standing at point, which you might say, well, why is he doing that? But that sun is getting so low out towards the mountains to our right as we look to your left of your screen. Look at the length of the shadows that it's casting. Here we go. Back live. Just wanted another look at that run out replay, but I think it would have been too close to call. Jura gets a single. These two will just look to accumulate and rebuild here. Not going to take too many risks, you'd imagine, Paresh.
Yeah, they both are relatively new at the crease. Asif Sheikh, very well played. 38 comes to an end. He was the one who gave momentum to the innings after Kushal Bhurtel got out. Slater has been very good, very aggressive bowling those short balls, trying to attempt bouncers, bumpers.
But he's also just hit that good hard length really well, as Powdell's so quick. Oh, brilliant running. Really quite remarkable how they've turned a single into two there. It probably should have been a dot ball, but you put the pressure back onto the fielders, you force them to try and take the single, and yeah, incredible. Really, really good awareness and game awareness from both Rohit Powdell and Sundeep Jura. Probably frustrating for Sagaya Slater despite picking up that second wicket for him, and with 8 bowled, it's 69 for 2. Heading into the golden era, the magic era of the last era of daylight here. Change in bowling, Hara Hinze comes on now from the media centre end. Long off and deep cover in place, and then on the leg side, deep backward square is a long way behind square, covering that sweep shot. Deep mid wicket and long on out. 4 in the circle, 5 outs. Good brave bowling, slower through the air. Looks a talented young cricketer. I know he didn't see much of him with the bat there in that first innings. Difficult position to come in, someone so young, but good left arm bowler, good fielder, captain of the 19s. What a bright future he has.
Yes, he has a very bright future. I've seen him in the Under-19 Asia Cup. Very good fielding at extra cover. He's just looping the ball into the air, just telling the batsman to come and hit me.
Yeah, and it's brave for someone who's 17 to continue to toss it up and getting good reward. 3 dots from 4 balls. Been really impressed with Japan. First time I've ever commentated on them live myself. Enjoyed the game yesterday. As this one comes off maybe even the helmet. I think we might have a concussion check here. Yeah, they're going to go to the physio. Maybe bat involved as well. You can understand why they've appealed, but we'll have a slight break in play here as out comes Nepal's physio Lakendra Kumar to run through the mandatory concussion check. That will always take place no matter how strong or weak the blow is towards the helmet region. It's been a good innovation. You'll see here clearly up into the grill and helmet. I'm sure Rohit Powell is fine. It was only coming down at 45 miles an hour, but good to go through the process.
Yes, I wonder, Lenny, what does the physio come and talk to you about after you got struck in the helmet? I've always wondered about that. Is he going to ask you some questions? What is your name? Or where do you live? Just a shot, just a break in play. Nepal 70 for 2 in the ninth over.
Yeah, maybe the surprise that we haven't seen the third spinning option yet. Only the 5 bowlers used. Thought Abdul Samad might have had a turn now. Maybe he'll come in next. Only have the one over left of Shamya Sagaya Slater. How the captain of Japan uses that over will be interesting. Does he go all in now and give him another one just before the drinks break? Or will he hold him back? Powell obviously passes the concussion test and is fit to continue. Just 2 runs though from that 9th over. It's 71 for 2.
A very good spell so far for Slater. 3 overs, 13 runs given away and taken the 2 wickets to go for Nepal. He's bowled very well, aggressive, bowling those odd bouncers.
Well, fielders running everywhere, and it's not going to be Sagaya Slater. It would have been a very aggressive piece of captaincy. It would have been basically kind of saying it's all or nothing now. I need 2 wickets from you, my trump card, my best bowler today. Instead, he's going to go to Sakarana Thomas. Doesn't quite have the same pace, just as that little angle in. Exceptional. Running between the wickets again. They'll get home for the 2 comfortably. Might even think of a third. And